Hello, I'm Kelly, and welcome to 45 minutes of arm balancing drills. You're going to need 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you could use a very thick book instead, but you'll need 2 of those. You'll need a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use the belt to a robe, but you're going to need to tie it. You can also use a belt, that would work as well. You want to tie the strap, the rope, the belt into a loop that sets your forearms, if you were to put your forearms through the loop, a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart, maybe like an inch wider than the shoulders. So a looped strap or a belt. And the last thing you'll need is a towel. A bath towel works if you're on a hard wooden floor like I am. If you happen to be on a carpeted floor, you could use a paper plate, or you could use a furniture mover, one of the ones that have like the plastic on the bottom and the pad on the top. So those will work as well. Let's get started, and we'll start in a seated position. So you might already be using your block here to lift your hips up a little bit. Set your hips up high in a way that your knees can drop down below the level of your hips, and then rest your hands onto your legs. Go ahead and close your eyes. And let's together take 3 deep breaths in and out. Take a breath in, and exhale through your mouth. A breath in, and out through the mouth. One more time, a breath with a sigh. And then seal your lips, breathe in and out through your nose. Notice your breath. Notice your breath moving in and out of your body. Feel your body. And just notice what is so about your body. Connect with your body through your breath. Bring your palms together with the center of your heart. And we'll initiate our time together with 1 Om. Take a breath in. Om. Open your eyes. Beautiful. And so let's start with our arms out to the sides like a capital letter T. So with your arms at the level of your shoulders, flex your wrists, palms facing the right and left side of the room. And you're just going to hold it like this. Press your palms way out, away from your shoulders, and then keep your spine nice and tall. Take 3 more breaths here. 2 more. 1 more breath with the inhale. See if you can press out a little bit wider. Good, and then keep your arms like this and start to take some small circles forward. Small circles forward. They don't have to be super fast, and they certainly don't have to be very big. So what we're doing right now is you're warming your shoulders up. Our imbalances they ask a lot from our shoulders, and they ask a lot from our forearms and our wrists. So we're warming those parts of the body up right here, right? So you might start to feel your shoulders getting a little burny. You might start to feel some deep stretching across your chest or your palms. If that's the case, that's all kind of part of this particular drill. Keep it going. Let's say 5 more breaths. If your shoulders are getting really burny, you can slow down a little bit. You can even take a break. So this is not about, getting the deep burn. It's just warming your shoulders up. Good, and now turn your fingers down and circle backwards. Yeah, this one might be a little bit more intense. It's different in each body. For me, this is the more intense way to go. And we'll give that 5 more breaths, deep breaths. This is good practice, especially, it's easy here, maybe not easy, but being off of your hands and off of your shoulders, especially if you're working with like an injury or tension there. This is a great way to already start working your arms, your hands, your wrists, even without beginning to put weight on them. So this is a good one for that. Okay, hold that. Keep your fingers pointing down and then pull back as far as you can. Drop your chin to your chest, take 3 breaths. Keep pushing out through your palms. Keep your front ribs pulled into center, so watch that you're not popping the front of your body out. You want to target your shoulders and your chest. 1 more breath in. Good, and relax your arms down. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll, let the heat out. Good, all right, and then grab your strap. So you'll take your strap and loop it right above your, or around your forearms, just below your elbow. So it's kind of like the meatier part of your forearm, up away from your wrist. Like that. Now, palms face each other. Take your arms straight out in front. And then you're going to stretch your fingers away from your body so your shoulder blades move away from each other on your upper back. But keep your head up nice and tall. You want to avoid the temptation to round and press your hands forward. Okay, so sit up tall, stretch your fingertips forward, and then press out into the straps. You might notice your upper back beginning to spread here. That's what I feel. So keep all that in place. As you take your next breath in, you're going to take your arms up overhead. Go as high as you can without your ribs kind of pushing forward. And on the exhale, lower your hands back down, tap the floor. So we're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale up. Keep pressing your fingers forward and your crown up towards the ceiling and lower down. Good, 3 more. So you really want to create that action of pushing forward through your arms. This is the action that we will utilize once we start moving on to weight bearing on the arms. And we want the upper back. You want the upper back broad. So that's what makes room for the arms to push forward and the core to pull up. Let's go 1 more time. I'm already sweating. Whew. All right. Now you're going to come up to shoulder height. Okay, fingers forward, crown up, press your palms forward, and now push straight forward. So I'll give you the side view here. Okay, so it's not pulling back. I'm pushing my arms forward, but I'm pressing my head up towards the sky. And hold that for 1, 2, keep pushing out into the strap for 3, 4, and 5, relax. Oh, my shoulders are already warm. Hopefully yours are too. You can set the strap aside. We're not done with it yet, so don't throw it too far. And then from here, you're going to take your arms back out in that position, straight out in front. Palms face forward. This time, spread your fingers out as far as you can. And we're going to do what's called jazz hands. So you'll take your fingers straight, bring all 5 fingers of each hand together to touch, and then open your palms back up again. So fingers together, open back up. Fingers together, open back up, and then go a little bit quicker. Keep your arms as straight as you can. Continue to press your arms forward and keep your crown up high. Let's go for 10. And go as fast as you can. 9, 8. You'll start to feel your forearms getting warmer. 7, 6. Keep the form, so straight fingers. 5, 4. If you can go faster, go faster. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. So about now, the shoulders and the forearms, maybe the whole arms are starting to feel warm. So let's come up to all fours, move the block out of the way. And we'll do a little bit of a stretch for the wrists. So we'll start opening those up. So coming to all fours, bring your palms to the floor and the heels of your hands towards each other with the fingers facing the left and the right side. So you can take your hands wider. It's a little bit of a less stretch, not quite as intense. You could bring your hands all the way together. This is the most intense stretch. So you just want to feel like a good, healthy stretch up through your forearms. This should not be pinchy, burny, zingy, anything like that. Okay, once you've got yourself set up, press all 10 fingertips down. Press the heel of both hands down. Turn the eye of your elbow, where your elbow bends, towards each other. They face the center. And then breathe right there. Get your arms as straight as you can get them. Really squeeze your elbows in towards each other. And now rock a little side to side. 5 more breaths. The rocking here is getting your wrists comfortable with the rocking that tends to happen as we start taking arm balances. So you're building up the degree of comfort with the instability that is inevitable in those kind of poses. Okay, relax, sit back, shake it out a bit. Give them a little bit of a shake. It's normal for your wrist to feel a little bit sour after that, and the shake just kind of knock that out. All right, and then we'll do one more exercise for the wrists. These are called wrist push-ups. So you'll come to all fours. I'll show you from the side. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips, index fingers point straight forward. So the movement is you're going to lift the heels of your hands up, but keep the base knuckles of all the fingers down. So my fingers are down, the pads of my thumbs are down, and I'm just up, just the palm of my hand is up off the floor. And then slowly, as though you're pressing into like a water balloon that's got a slow leak, you're going to press your palms back down. Lift your palms up, and then press your palms back down. The more forward your hands are, the less intense. The closer your hands are to your knees, the more intense. Okay, so we're going to go for 10 breaths. Start with control first. So start a little bit slow, right? So you're not just dropping your hands back into the floor. It's a slow, controlled drop. 7 more breaths. If it feels controlled, you can pick it up a little bit. So a little bit faster, but still controlled for 5. 4, elbows straight. 3, you can go faster, so you want to get your forearms warm. 2, and 1. Good, sit back, shake that out a bit. And then we'll do one more stretch for the wrists. And this will be the opposite of the one that we already did. So instead of having your palms down, this time turn your palms up. Bring your fingertips towards each other. Good, and now this time, the wider you go, the more intense. The closer you are, the less intense. So find a distance where you have a good, healthy stretch. And then hold that. Spread your fingers out. Get as much of the back of your hands onto the floor as you can. And then put a little rock in. A little rock, side to side. Deep breathing. Your breath is key here, especially in something like an arm balance that can be, it requires courage, arm balances, and it also requires strength, a degree of intensity. Your ability to breathe deep and slow is what communicates with your body that all is well. So having your deep breathing right now is a good tool to put on as we get closer to the arm balances themselves. Good, all right, sit down, shake that out. A little sour, right? So just shake until your wrists are not so sour. A couple ways you can go up and down, you can go side to side. Sometimes I like to kind of do the circle. This is something you're probably going to want to be alone in a room to do, unless you have an understanding partner or friend that will do this with you. Good, and then relax. Okay, so next up, we're going to release the forearms. So one more thing on hands and knees. Actually, it's not the last thing, but it's okay. So we're going to do a little extra rolling on the forearms called myofascial release, right? So the muscles in our forearms they can get really stiff and tight, which makes weight bearing on the hands more difficult. We'll make them a little bit warmer and easier. So you're going to bring your right forearm down, take your left forearm onto your right forearm, and you're going to give just a nice massage. You want to work the most up towards your elbow. So that's where the muscle is the thickest. And then you can work down towards your wrist. And if you find any knotty spots, anywhere that it's more thick or harder, hold it there, hold that spot, and take 3 big breaths. One more breath. Good, and then come up, shake it out a little bit. Should feel pretty good. And then switch sides. So left forearm comes down, right forearm to your left forearm. Start up at the top towards your elbow. And then make your way down towards your wrist. You might start to notice it's kind of crepey. your fingers will start moving on their own. So you can see how these muscles are responsible for how our fingers move. Good, and when you find a knot, you're gonna hold that. Take 3 big breaths. 2 more. Last one. Good, and then release, shake it out. All right, our wrists are warmed up, our forearms are warmed up, so we're ready to start putting some weight on. Bring your strap back out, and again, you're gonna wrap the strap around your forearms up towards the elbow. So not on your elbow, but slightly below your elbow, and then come to tabletop position. All right, so we won't be doing any flow or anything like that. If you've got the tail kind of hanging out of your strap, that's fine. Set your shoulders a little wider, or your hands a little wider than your shoulders, and again, you're gonna press out into the strap. I'm actually gonna make mine a little bit tighter. So if it doesn't work, the tightness you have currently doesn't work, feel free to adjust it. Okay, index fingers forward, shoulders over wrists, press out into the strap, and we're gonna do shoulder shrugs. So what you'll do here, keep the pressure out into the strap. On the exhale, you're gonna pitch your chest forward and down. And on the exhale, you're gonna pitch your chest back a little bit and up, shoulder blades apart. Exhale, pitch down and forward. Inhale, up and back. So let's do that 5 more times. You want to do this with your arms, your elbows, I should say, straight, right? So it's not a push-up, it's not an elbow bending movement. This is moving, if possible, only, it's isolating your shoulder blades. So down and forward, we're going into shoulder blade retraction, and then up and back, we go into protraction. So we'll go one more time, down, forward and down, and then up and back, and now you're gonna hold it. So up and back, hold it, press your hands down, all 10 fingertips into the floor, push out into the strap, press your shoulder blades spread apart, and then keep the crown of your head lengthening out from between your shoulder blades. So you're not really rounding, you're just protracting. And then hold that for 1, keep pressing down, 2, 3, press out into the strap and down through your fingertips, 4, and 5, relax. Good, now we're done with the strap, so you can move this all the way out if you want. And now we're gonna start putting some weight. We're warm, we're ready with our arms and shoulders, we're gonna start adding some weight on. So from your tabletop position, set it up again, have the stack, right? And then come into some cat dogs. So on the inhale, dog pose, chest forward, look up a little bit. And on the exhale, cat, tuck your chin, round your spine, look at your belly button. Let's do 5 of those. You might notice on the dog, you have your shoulder retraction, right, down and forward. And on the cat, you have your shoulder protraction, shoulder blades wide. 3 more, retract. Exhale, cat, protract. Last one. Okay, now we're going to add on to it. So inhale, dog tilt, retract your shoulder blades, chest forward, look forward. On the exhale, as you take cat tilt, protract your shoulder blades, press down, press your toenails down, and lift your knees up off the floor. Really push down through your hands. And then lower your knees down. Inhale, dog pose. Exhale, cat pose, press down, and lift your knees up. 3 more, inhale. Exhale, down through your hands, down through your feet, lift. Good, inhale. Exhale. Really pull up through your belly, and then last one, inhale. Exhale, press down, round. Good, and then knees down. Inhale, dog pose, chest forward. And then exhale, cat pose. Keep your knees down and roll into downward facing dog. So stretch up and back, hands forward a bit, feet back a bit. Give your arms a chance to stretch out. Let's take 3 breaths. You can shake your head out here. Press your heels down, lift your tail up, stretch your legs. Good, and then drop to your knees. Now we're going to add on top of what we just did. So follow with me here, come to tabletop position. We'll start with the dog tilt. So inhale, chest forward, look forward, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, cat tilt, press down, protract round, lift your knees up, and then pull your right knee to your right tricep. On the inhale, go all the way back, knees down, chest forward, look forward. Exhale, cat tilt, knees up, left knee to your left tricep. Inhale, dog tilt. So we'll do that 4 more times. Exhale, cat, lift your knee, right knee to right tricep. Both knees down, dog, inhale. Exhale, knees up, left knee, left tricep. Good. So we'll do 1 more each side. Good. Now lift the knees, right knee, right tricep, hold it, push down, push down, push down. 5, 4, straight arms. 3, 2, and 1. Both knees down, dog tilt, inhale. Exhale, lift the knees, left knee, left tricep, hold it. 5, push down. 4, push the floor down. 3, knee in. 2, and 1. Knees down, dog tilt, big breath. Downward facing dog, press back. So if your wrists need a break, you can take child's pose here. Downward dog or child's pose, 3 breaths. Okay, drop to your knees. So now we're going to take this up into a plank position. And we'll add those knee crunches into a plank. If that's a little too intense, no worries. You can do the knee crunch from all 4s. So let's give it a try. Come to all 4 position. Tabletop. Step your right foot back. Strong straight leg. Step your left foot back. And then let's just start by holding the plank. Shoulders over wrists. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Firm up your legs. Breathe here. And you want to create it so your back is parallel with the floor, right? So you don't want like a down dog type shape, but you also don't want your hips sagging down, right? So spine parallel to the floor, belly up. Take 1 more breath. Then on the exhale, low push up. Upward facing dog, stretch. Downward facing dog. Give it a breath. You could take child's pose here. We'll do 3. Soften through your shoulders. Let your shoulders sink into your upper back. 1 more. Good, and then back out to plank. Roll out. Tighten up. Now this time, right knee to your right tricep and hold it. 1, 2, push the floor away. 3, 4, and 5. Little push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog or child's pose. Take 3 breaths. Just remember, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So if your wrists are getting tired or your hands are getting tired, take child's pose. Give them a break. 1 more. And then come on up. Plank position 1 more time. So from child's pose or down dog, come on out. Stack up, tighten up. Now left knee to left tricep. Hold that. 1, 2, 3. Press the floor down, but press your head forward. 4, right? You're not rounding through your head and your neck. And 5, little push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. Good. All right, come all the way down. So now we're ready to start building up the crow pose. Bow and crow, they rhyme. Not the same pose at all, but you know, they sound the same. So the first one we'll do is on our back. So we'll do 4 different crows, and we'll do this over a couple times. We'll do a couple sets of them to start building up some endurance. Also going to show you different ways to do it based on where you're at with your arm balances. So the first one we'll do on our back. This is perfect if you're just starting to work with weight on your hands, or if you have a wrist or a shoulder injury where you can't put a whole lot of weight on your arms just yet. So from lying on your back, bring your feet together, hug your knees up and in towards your chest, and then bring your arms up towards the ceiling. So you could press your knees into the back of your triceps. Ideally, you're going to get your arms on the insides of your knees. Okay, feet together, press your knees into your arms into your knees, and now press your head straight up towards the ceiling. So you're rounding up, tailbones up, heads up. Now press your arms up towards the ceiling and hold it. 1, we'll do 5 breaths. 2, press your feet together and your knees into your arms. 3, 4, press a little bit higher, and 5, relax it down. Take a breather. 2 more. Arm balances really build the heat. You don't even need all those sun salutations to get warm when you're working on arm balances. Warm already. All right. Okay, so you can continue to work there for the next crow, or come all the way up, and we'll set up for our first, I would say, true arm balance. So crow pose. This one will do keeping the feet on the floor. So you'll come to your tabletop position, feet together, bring your knees, ball would start like this. Feet together, knees out to the side, kind of like a frog, and then bring your knees to the outsides of your upper arms, your hands on the floor with your index fingers pointing forward. Now, lift your hips up so your spine is parallel with the floor. Keep your feet on the floor and send some weight forward so that your shoulders come over top of your fingertips. Now hold that. Even with your elbows bent, push the floor down, widen your upper back, and lengthen your head out from between your shoulder blades. 1, 2, get the thumb side of your hand pressing down. 3, keep your spine level with the floor. 4, and 5, sit all the way back, drop to your knees. You might give your wrist a little shake there. All right, so for the next one, we're gonna amp it up a little bit more. And again, the goal here as you're doing it, as much as possible, keep your spine parallel to the floor, avoid your hips going way up high. It's gonna take core strength, but you've got it. You've got the core strength, you just gotta harness it, okay? All right, grab one block. We're gonna pour a little froggy on the block. So block, I would do the lowest setting. The higher setting's a little bit precarious, so we'll do the lower setting. Bring your feet onto the block and come into your little froggy on the block. And then set up for your crow. So knees outside your upper arms, index fingers forward, your hands are shoulder width. Now lift up so your spine is parallel to the floor and lean your weight forward. So you're gonna play with how far forward you can go. So you can see my butt's going up too high. I'm going to use my abdominals and pull my tail down so my spine's parallel. And then hold that. 1, 2, looking out in front of your hands. 3, 4, and 5. Sit back onto your feet. Come all the way off the block. And then shake out your hands. All right, we're gonna do one more crow. So you can do any one of those crows lying down, feet on the floor, feet on the block. The next one we're gonna do is with the feet up off the floor. All right, so let's do it. All right, keep the block there. It makes the distance up a little bit less. Sometimes that's easier. Bring your feet on the block, come into your froggy, and then bring your knees on the outside of your upper arms. Now, Lift your butt up. Use your feet to bring your spine parallel to the floor. Lean your weight forward. And then lift one foot. Lift 2 feet. And then curl your tail down. 1, 2. Push down through your arms. 3, 4, and 5. Feet back to the block. And then come all the way off. Good. Shake out your arms. Good work. Get all the sour out, right? Let's do a little vinyasa to stretch. Stretch it all out. So you can come from plank or you can come from tabletop. Low push-up. A dog. Stretch. Downward facing dog. Press back. Take 3 breaths. Open your shoulders back up. One more. Good, and then drop to your knees. So now we're gonna build on top of our crow, and we'll do it like this. So I'm gonna move my mat out of the way. You might just pop off to the side of your mat, something like that. And this is where you're gonna want your towel. So, have your towel. If you have a big one, I have a big one, big bath one like this. I'm gonna fold it in half so it's long. So I've got the long. I'm gonna fold that in half, like that, and I'm gonna fold it in half one more time. So I've got about that size. If you've got a hand towel, you might just fold it one time, something like that. If you have a paper plate or a furniture pad or whatever you're using, that's completely fine the way it is. Obviously you won't be folding that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this to play with the transition back from crow into low push-up. This is also where you can use your blocks. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do this. So the first way you could do this, let's do on the medium height blocks. Okay, plank position with feet on the towel. Right? And the movement is knees come up and outside. Keep the spine parallel to the floor. And then back into a plank position. What I don't want are the shoulders going back as the feet go back. Keep the shoulders over top of the wrists. So you can do it that way. You can do it a level down. Right? So plank, spine level. Knees come in and touch. Knees go back, plank. Okay? Or you could have no blocks. And just do this on the floor. So plank, knees in, spine level, plank. Okay? So you pick, the more block you have, the less weight is on your arms. So it's a little bit easier that way. So we're gonna do 10 of them. Pick, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna go right, 10, one right after the other one, okay? So, set up, plank position, spine parallel to the floor, gaze out in front of your hands, take a breath in. Exhale, knees outside your arms. Back to plank. Knees in. 2. In. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Plank. Drop to your knees. Shake it out. All right, that was the easy one. So now, let me just say, the next one's harder. So, you will want your block. You don't have to use it like this. Actually, keep the blocks on your hands if you need that, or just use the floor if you want to do that. What we're adding on is that as the legs go back, now the elbows are going to bend. As the legs come in, the arms are going to straighten. We're only going to do 5, and this can also be done on the knees. So let me show that one first, okay? So this would look like plank position. Knees are on the floor. My knees are on the towel in this one. So the knees will come in like that behind the wrists. And on the exhale, knees go back, elbows bend. Inhale, come up, go right behind the wrists. Exhale, knees back, elbows bent, okay? So the other variation is knees up, and I'm gonna try that one. We're only gonna do 5, all right? So take a big breath, steel yourself, you can do this. Come into your plank or plank on the knees, set your feet, and then on that inhale, knees come forward. Exhale, go back, lower your elbow, or bend your elbows. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. 2 more. Last one. Upward dog. Ooh. Downward facing dog. Child's pose. All right, get a rest after that one. One more. All right. So now, of course, we're going to try a jump back. So if you don't feel safe doing it, you know, you're at home, I can't jump through the video and help you out if you need help. But if you don't feel safe or you just like the support, feel free to do what we just did. So you don't have to actually do the jump. You can work with the towel. This is good work, okay? However, if you're ready to progress up to the jump back, here's the thing. It's exactly the same movement as having a towel. So your feet will glide back as though there were a towel underneath of them, but there's just air. Your spine, ideally, stays parallel to the floor throughout, okay? So I'll show you one, and then we're gonna do it together. Hopefully you got your breath while we're doing that. All right, so we'll start in the crow pose, since it's a jump back, okay? You could have your feet down. This is fine to jump back from here to get some stability with it, or you can have your feet up, okay? So take a breath in, and then exhale, you slide back, up dog, down dog, like that, okay? So we're gonna do 5 of those. Jump back, up dog, down dog, set up, and I'll call you into the next one. So we'll do it together, okay? This won't be one right after the other. Okay, go, crow pose. Feet up or down, up to you. Take a breath in. Slide straight back. Up dog, down dog. Take a breath. And then sit back up for crow. So walk back up, set it up and come up. Take a breath in, straight back. Up dog, downward facing dog. Take a breath. And sit back up for crow. So getting your breath in kind of helps. If there's any, you know, like fear around it, come into your crow, take a breath in. On the exhale, straight back. Up dog, down dog. Take a breath. You've got this. 2 more, sit up to crow. So this one I'm gonna put my feet down, so just see that you can do that. Take a breath in, and then exhale, float back. Up dog, down dog. And we got 1 more, take your breath. And then step up to your crow. Here comes the last one. Set it up. Breath in. Glide back. Up dog. Stretch. Downward facing dog. Child's pose. All right, our wrist definitely earned some rest after that one. All right, come on up. And we've got 1 more. So just know, if you're feeling pretty cooked, you can pause the video, go get some water, get a break, take a little rest, and then come back. Totally legit. If you see this and it's not for you, feel free to stop. This is something you could build up to. What we're gonna look at now is a jump into crow. Yes, You can do it. You've already trained the movement for it, and now it's just translating it into something where the towel's not there. So what we're gonna do is, let's go through the towel exercise one more time, and then we'll try to jump into crow without the towel. You will not want blocks for this because it's not stable enough, okay? So put the towel back or the paper plate back under your feet. And we'll do 5 of the slides. So sliding from plank to crow, focusing on coming straight forward and landing right in the middle of your upper arm. So it will look like this. You come into your plank position. So you're here, spine is parallel with the floor. And on the exhale, I'm gonna come right up and put my knees on the outside of my arms, right? So I'm not lifting my butt up, I'm not dropping my butt down, spine stays parallel to the floor, okay? And then go right back to plank. So we'll do that 5 times, keep your spine parallel, right? Here we go, plank position, tight legs, tight core, push the floor down, take a breath in, exhale, right outside the upper arms. Inhale, go back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, plank. And drop to your knees. Shake it out. All right. So this is the last thing we're going to do. We'll give it a shot. Try. If you have the energy and your wrists are feeling okay, try. It's the only way it becomes possible. And we're going to try to jump forward into crow. So I'll show you. I may or may not land it. That part doesn't matter. Okay, so if it doesn't land, no worries. It's sloppy, and then we'll try it again. Okay, so this one will start from a downward facing dog position. You're going to bend your knees until your spine is that parallel to the floor. And then as though you still have a towel underneath your feet, blow all the air out and slide it like that. So I didn't stick it quite, but that's the idea, okay? Then we'll step back, breath in, bend the knees, and we'll try it again. We're gonna do 5 of them, okay? So just do one right after the other, that's the key. Here we go. A short downward dog with the feet together. Take a breath in, bend the knees, spine parallel, jump. Good, step back. Short down dog, breathe in. Exhale, spine parallel, bend your knees. Jump. Good. Go back. Bend your knees. Jump. Ooh. Go back. 2 more. Starts to get kind of fun, right? Jump. Ooh, almost. Last one. Take a breath in. Blow it all out. Now jump. Hold the crow on this one. Hold it. So if you didn't land it, it's okay. Come into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, low push up, jump back, upward dog, stretch, downward facing dog. Good work. Take a breath or 2. Last one. All right, drop to your knees. Man, who needs push-ups? You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull my mat back out. And let's make sure, I'm gonna make sure, you make sure that you release. We're gonna release our shoulders and our wrists after all that amazing work. All right, so come back to your mat. Come into lying onto your tummy, so a prone position, and take your arms out to the sides. Okay, you're gonna bend your left elbow. So you've got like a letter L here. We're gonna say 90-degree bend with the elbow. Then you're gonna roll away from your left arm. So chest towards the right. Take your upper leg, foot to the floor behind your bottom leg or in front of your bottom leg. And lean into the front of your left shoulder. Take 5 big breaths. Two more. last one. Good. And then come back and to the other side now. So right arm at 90. Bring the left leg up. Roll the chest towards the left. Plant the left foot behind the right leg or on the floor in front of the left leg. And then your left arm could be on your left knee, wherever it feels good. I kind of like to push on my knee a little bit, and it helps me anchor into my shoulder a little bit more. This is a good one. Two more breaths. One more. Good, and then come back. Plant your palms beside your lowest rib, press up to all fours, and we're gonna come into puppy pose. So from all fours, take your hands forward and together, palms together, and then drop your chest down, lower your forehead on the floor. Pit of the belly in towards your spine, hug your front ribs towards center. And then from right here, pop up on your fingertips. After a couple breaths, if it's there, you can drop the chest down and switch to your chin being on the floor. One more breath. And slowly come back up. Walk your hands back in under your shoulders. Sit down onto your right side, and you're going to turn over onto your back. So bring your blocks back again, and we're going to sit up for a supported fish pose. We'll take this a little bit longer and really pop the chest and the shoulders back open again. So lying on your back, take your block the medium height. Your book, if you stack a couple books, this will work. You'll probably need more than one book. And you'll bring the bottom of the book or the block right beneath your shoulder blade tips, the bottoms of them. The top of the block should land up into your upper back. Now, if your head can reach the floor, mine can, you don't have to have another block underneath of it, but if your head's kind of hanging out in space, you definitely want the second block or book underneath your head for support. Scoop your tailbone towards your heels, and then let your arms hang out wide and down along your sides. You can close your eyes here or set your eyes to a point. And the goal in this one, you did a lot of work. Your muscles did a lot of work. You built a lot of heat. The goal here is to release. Do the least amount of work possible. Put your attention on the block. And with each breath, melt. Allow your body to melt over top of the block. Let's take 3 more breaths. You could scoot your tailbone down towards you guys a little bit more. Create more space through your back. Beautiful. And then slowly take your time, bend your knees, plant your feet. Roll to your right side. You might use your hand to help support your head as you come off the blocks. Move them out of the way. and then lie onto your back. Hug your knees to your chest. Drop your knees to the left, tee your arms. Take a supine twist. We'll go off to the right side. 3 big breaths here. Such a powerful skill to be able to shift from work and effort into ease. There's a lot of power in the ability to do that quickly and smoothly. Again, and then bring your knees up, drop your knees right, look left. Try it on here. And B for ease. B for dropping into the support of the floor. One more breath. And then come back to center. Hug your knees to your nose and your nose to your knees. Good, and let's take some rest. You worked hard. Lay down all the way, legs wide, arms wide, close your eyes. And as you spent the majority of the class pressing away from the floor, now allow yourself to drop in. Big breath in, and exhale through your mouth. And reach your arms up overhead, stretch your legs down along the mat, full body stretch. As you exhale, hug your knees to your chest, and roll to your right side. From your side, press yourself up to a seated position. And bring your hands to the center of your heart. Good. I acknowledge you for your courage and for the strength that you already have. You know, there'll always be more to cultivate. And still, there's so much courage and strength that's already there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been here. Acknowledge that. Grow that. Grow that by putting your attention on what is. So good. And then let's take a big Om to close. Take a breath in. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.